Hello, everybody. It is me, Seven Hanuman. I hope all of you had a wonderful Sunday. Tonight, I want to help a content creator. This content creator is a real targeted individual, and based on my personal experience and from watching his videos, he's got some dumpster stained gang stalkers. And I will do my best to help him battle his dumpster stained gang stalkers. So this content creator is, some of you might know him, is Conspiracy Underground. So first, I want to help him by sharing something that I went through in regards to the drones that he's experiencing. So give me 1 second. Okay, so here is a short video from him talking about this bright dot in the sky, which I know exactly what he meant because I went through it at least 7 or 8 years ago. I noticed this dot that was in the sky that was not moving as I'm driving straight for hours, heading home from a trip. And my initial thought was, oh, that must be some type of alien UFO aircraft. Because at the time, I did not think of drones. Drones was not popular like now. So my first initial thought was, that must be UFO because it's not moving as I'm driving for hours and it was the brightest thing in the sky. All the other stars have not shown themselves yet. So I went through this about 7 or 8 years ago. And I will play this video and then I will explain how I figured out what that dot in the sky is. So here we go.
That's your science. Where are the other stars at? Why aren't the other stars visible in the whole fucking sky, bro? That's not how stars work, Nerf Gorilla. There isn't one star in the sky that's fucking within the Earth's atmosphere, bro. Learn astronomy. Like, bro, where are all the stars, dude? This is a big sky. Where the fuck are all the stars at? So it's just one star in the sky for everyone on this planet, right, bro? There's not millions of stars. Like, they're not billions of light years away. Just one star that follows me and peeks around corners and looks through windows, bro. It's just that one special star. You're a charlatan, or you're a fucking charlatan. Is it even better?
Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see that dot in the sky, but I know exactly what Conspiracy Underground's talking about. It's a bright star, a dot, something glowing, that is as bright as the moon in comparison, while all the other stars are nowhere as bright. So this dot is just as bright as the moon. So I experienced this 7 to 8 years ago, and my friend told me about Google Sky Map. So Google Sky Map is an app for your phone, and you just point your phone up into the sky and you move it around like you're wearing a VR headset, and it shows you on your phone screen where are the different stars and planets, or where are the different planets. So when I use Google Sky Map and point it at that light, it indicates that bright light in the sky is planet Venus. And if you look into history, Venus is the most misunderstood planet, or caused people to believe it's some type of UFO or some unexplained thing in the sky. But when I use Google Sky Map, it indicates to me that is planet Venus. So I hope Conspiracy Underground will download Google Sky Map if it's still available, or some type of generic sky map from the App Store, and use that and point it at it the next time he sees it and make a video about it. That'll be very interesting. So I hope this will help make you feel more at ease, Conspiracy Underground. This live stream is for you to realize that I'm here to help you. I will help you battle your dumpster-stained gang stalkers. They're a bunch of jokesters, circus clowns. And I will help you because they are messing with you using lower voice to skull. So please just understand that not everyone on YouTube are fakes. And please understand, I'm not here to purposely lie to you and lie to the TI community. So I hope by me sharing this information with you using Google Sky Map, you can finally find out what that bright star is in the sky, which is Venus. You know, Conspiracy Underground, it's I came to a realization finally, because he recently made a video talking trash about me. In the title, it was calling me a seventh Hanyu woman, you know, all these different name calling. And I finally realized what is going on with him. I realized the stuff he talks about, it's so false and so off the wall. He is only listening to that voice in his head. There's only one voice, and that's that one voice inside Conspiracy Underground's head. Because I have made so many videos explaining gang stalking and go deep into the voice to skull and lower voice to skull. Even videos explaining to him how his information, the way he put information together and the way he labeled me are completely just too simple. But he doesn't understand that. That is because he's one of those people that only focus on his own thoughts. And the stuff that I say, he wouldn't pay attention to it, because as I'm saying it and he's watching my videos, that thought in his mind is also trying to play the devil's advocate and contradict any little things that I say. Pick at it, nitpicking all the little words and think of all the opposite, think of the negative, because I try to be positive, and the opposite of that is the negative. And that's exactly what Conspiracy Underground is doing. As I'm watching his videos, it dawned on me that, wow, this guy is really just listening to that lower voice to skull. And he's all over the place. And I realized I need to help him. So I take time out of my life, made a video. Hopefully it will help him. So I will play this video for you guys. But first, I want to thank Abe, Absent-Minded Abe, for acknowledging that this entire time, what I've been doing, teaching the TI community, is to make things more positive for the TI. And Abe made an acknowledgement of my work, and I want to thank him. So I will play the video. So first you will see me playing that part where Abe acknowledge what I've been doing, and then we'll go into Conspiracy Underground. I will help him And the way for me to help him is I will play back the things that he would say in the video he made for me, because the stuff he talks about is just really all over the place. And I think instead of me just talking back to him, I'll just play the things that he said in his video and we can analyze it. So give me one moment. Now we'll start that video. Okay, guys, so here we go. We're going to start this video, and I will let it play for the first 10 minutes or so. Just try to stay focused, because I know sometimes it's hard to stay focused watching a video like this or watching my live stream, maybe because I talk too slow. But that's also a good thing. It helps you train your mind to stay focused, because it's harder than it sounds to stay focused, especially as a TI. So you need to start practicing staying focused. So if I talk too slow, it's okay. Just practice staying focused, or rewind it a little bit later on and listen to it again. Because at the end of this video clip that I'll be showing you, I will talk really, really slow, because I want to experiment on this. See if by me talking at half speed, if Conspiracy Underground can finally understand me for once, instead of thinking me as a fake. So here we go.
The worse the shit's gonna get. Now it all makes sense what Seven Hanuman is actually even talking about. Here's the thing. Seven Hanuman is not wrong, because he's trying to get you out of the gang stalking. Because the gang stalking is what's killing you. It's fucking up your brain. It's keeping you trapped. So if you could turn it into something else.
Thank you, Abe. And he's right. My goal is to help change the mindset of the TI from being negative all the time to more positive and have hope again in life. It's draining after all the years if you don't have positive thinking. So now we will go into Conspiracy Underground.
I didn't even want to even fucking make a video about this guy. Like, this guy's fucking irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I recently made a video with Broken Matrix, Brokeback Matrix, Brokeback Mountain Matrix on the real TI Mount Rushmore.
Sorry, that section was actually, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to put in the Broken Matrix section. So sorry about that. We'll continue.
True Truth of Gang Stalking, the most important guide for all target individuals. True Truth of Gang Stalking, the most important guide created by 7 Man. Are you a targeted individual seeking answers? Follow me as I will guide you through gang stalking. I will share my personal experience on how to overcome the gang stalkers. Give credit where credit is due. Remember to thank me for helping you. Please like and subscribe.
That's why, like, I don't like causing division. I know I cause, like, the most division. I really don't like the drama and shit, like watching other people get in drama. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. That's why, like, I don't like causing division. I know I cause, like, the most division. I really don't like the drama and shit, like watching other people get in drama. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. This is my thing, though. With all these fakes, like, these people are just clown balloon, like fucking clowns with making balloon animal fakes, dude. They're sideshow circus clowns. They're not people that are confused. I'm not being mean to people that don't know about gang stalking and they're just coming online. and they're trying to figure shit out, or they don't have any information, or they didn't research. That's fine, bro. It's not a competition. But even people like King Manta and shit, like these people are just clown balloon, like clowns that are twisting up animal balloons, like giraffes and elephants, and they're just sitting there just doing a clown show of just a mockery to TIs. They're not even just perps that are bad people. It's just a complete mockery to knowledge of gang stalking, of what that needs to be your fucking destiny. That needs to be your fucking manifest destiny birthright. You get put onto a medical table, you get strapped down, and fucking needles go into your esophagus until your eyes close. You guys will never help target individuals. You'll continue to smoke meth and make up stories and be fucking scum pieces of shit while I suffer daily hacking and dosing, daily car vandalism, daily repairs to the mechanic shop, dude.
Okay, I have to pause here because he mentioned he gets daily abuse. Daily abuse. Where are the evidence for that? Otherwise, he's just being dramatic.
Do you think like I'm just made out of fucking money? Whatever, man. I don't know. All you people are perps. You're all pieces of shit, dude. I hope you all burn in hell. Sincerely. Like, sincerely. Like, just fucking crawl into a fucking abyss and be engulfed into eternal flames. Thank you.
It was because of this last statement that he made, just made me realize he's in trouble. And I need to help this guy. His mind is all over the place. And his focus is being messed with by his dumpster stained gang stalkers. Because he would go back and forth on his opinion, and it just sounds really lost. He sounds lost. And he would make statements like, oh, hoping you perps just goes to hell and all this stuff, crawl to hell. That to me just sounds very negative, even though I understand, perps or whatever in the gang stalking community. If you believe in perps and it's just, they're not good people. Okay. I understand from his perspective, but hoping that to happen to somebody else, it's very negative, and it goes deeper mentally inside our mind, the subconscious, than it really sounds when said out and put into a video. So there's more to it. Well, at least I understand. If you disagree, that's fine. But it's just sharing my experience. There's more to it than just saying it. It goes deeper than that.
V2K, bro. It can't, bro. When you're like, this is the definition of a perp on YouTube, bro. Like, people want to team up. I mean, is a perp. By definition, you guys are perps. 7th Hunaman is a perp. Like, it's just facts. That's just the definition of a perp on YouTube, bro. You can call me a perp openly. I don't care if you call me a perp because I say this. When you deal with the quality of people you deal with in this TI community, like, I'm almost for like putting 99% of this TI community in concentration camps. So like, if it was up to me, I'd go to your houses and like beat the shit out of you guys. Like, it would have to be like a legal sense. Like, it would have to be like there's a law passed, like the government's behind me, and we're all wearing like black uniforms and like fucking have billy clubs, like shit like that. Like, it would have to be legal and lawful. Like, okay, TIs are allowed to get their heads bashed in. Then I would do it. I'm not a violent person. It's because you guys are such lying fucking filth scumbags. Like, you are. You're the worst people on the fucking planet, dude. I hope Nerf Gorilla takes all you people down. Like, you are bad people, man. Like, god damn, dude. There can be the realest TI, and you'll come with this bullshit of, oh, people look at me. Get out of here, man. And I hear voices.
Okay. I know he made his channel because he would put it as an entertainment type of channel. It's entertainment, it's comedy. It's not always about gang stalking. That's how he put it. But this is not entertainment to me. This is him talking trash about TIs with V2K and him talking trash to me. And I don't find this to be entertaining. And this is his way of venting out. But that's fine. I know it's not his fault because he doesn't realize that the lower voice to skull from his dumpster stained gang stalkers are messing with his personality, are feeding him so many different thoughts throughout the day. That's why his mind is all over the place. And the sad thing is, they're also taking away his focus. So if he's watching this video, this live stream, I got a feeling he's not really paying attention. When he hears something that doesn't sound right, he'll just start thinking about how wrong that I am. He'll start thinking about all the possibility of how wrong I am. And next thing you know, oh, the video already been playing for 5 minutes. So he missed that 5 minutes of information because he spent that 5 minutes thinking about what I said 5 minutes ago. Does that make any sense? And that have to do with focus that all TIs go through. We need to practice regaining our focus and concentration.
Like, all you people are fucking clowns. Like, you are, dude. Self-evaluate. You are not perfect. That is a fact. You are not a perfect vessel that you're right everything mentally, that you know everything. Oh, it's V2K, it's remote neural monitoring, it's this, it's that. Like, the reason I make my claims because I can film everything I'm talking about. It's not that fucking hard to understand. If I claim that planes synchronize with me, it's because I fucking film planes flying over my fucking head. If I say a drone is always fucking in the sky, we're in my location, and it follows me, it goes past tree lines and building lines and to get in a sight of view of me. That's fucking accurate information, dude. I'm filming it. Like, there's a reason why I think that. It's not completely mental illness. Like, I may be wrong. I may have misinformed myself. I may have made the wrong decision. But I'm not just making up, oh, drones follow me, but I can't film any drones, dog. Like, you're making things up that you can't prove. In your head, it seems like it's real. But I'm actually going to do research. I'm going to prove my point to Seventh Unaman that his way of explaining V2K it's a disinformation type of way, because for most people that aren't going through gang stalking, what he's describing is schizophrenia. That's all. That's more proof.
Okay. So he's basically saying V2K is schizophrenia. Now, this is where I disagree with him. Because schizophrenia is schizophrenia. And voice to skull, it's voice to skull. You could say there's similarities, but they're two different things. Because in the TI community, we talk about voice to skull. Because the ones that are receiving voice to skull, we know it's real and we know it's not from our own head. So we have direct experience of voice to skull. Conspiracy Underground are not at that stage. He doesn't believe in it. And he just wants to basically label anyone with V2K or schizos. And no, we're not. Because outside of the TI community, you could label those people as schizo, but within the TI community, we know what's going on and we're receiving V2K. That is V2K. It's not the same as schizo. We're not going to be talking, using the word schizo instead of V2K, because outside the community, people know schizo as in, just a person hearing voices. But within our community, we're more than that. We actually know these voices is not us. It's not from our head. We know these voices come from the outside and it comes from another source. So the TI community, the TIs that knows this, that are receiving voice to skull, They know exactly what I'm talking about. We're not crazy people. So we're not going to call V2K schizophrenia. We're not, because they're two different things. Within this community, it's V2K. So think about it this way. The opposite of following the medical industry, okay, schizophrenia, the opposite of that would be they just don't know what they're dealing with. So they just coin a phrase and call it a sickness. Because these people that coined the phrase and write the textbook, they're not going through it. So it's jargon for them to even write a book and calling people fake instead of just listening to the patient for whatever the patient is saying. And when so many patients are saying it, maybe there is something going on. Maybe there's something going on and all these people are saying these things instead of just writing it off as, oh, hearing voices, fakes, or hearing voices, schizophrenia, hearing voices, oh, give them medications, put them in an asylum, whatever. It's like, no. The people in the community, in the TI community, the TIs that are receiving voices call, we know it's something else. We know this conversation, these voices, these verbal abuse comes from another source. That's not us. And that's why we disagree with the outsider. We disagree with other TIs that have not experienced V2K yet. And that's why we know more as well, because we are experiencing V2K and we already experienced before V2K what happened with other TIs.
Provable than V2K. Like the V2K has to be actually doing something to you, bro. Like if you're just hearing random voices and it doesn't make any logical sense for a program to be doing illogical things, telling you illogical things. It's not a supercomputer, it's a chemical imbalance, bro. But
see, and here we go again. He's going to go into detail educating the community about what is V2K. What is V2K? What's it like to have V2K? It's nonsense. Conspiracy underground. It's your dumpster stained gang stalkers making you talk like that. They're feeding you ideas. So you just start talking and talking and talking. And these dumpster stained gang stalkers of yours want the TI to start having tension in the community, to go against each other, to divide the TIs. Because my advice is you are not receiving V2K. You're not experiencing V2K on a daily basis. Your education on this subject, it's not credible. It's not. It's better for you to just not even talk about it.
now one person that I would kind of believe is most targeted citizen, because he has the most targeted citizen says he hears the V2K, but he has the physical testimony of years and years of he's claiming that everything's being damaged. So that's different. I'm not saying V2K doesn't exist. I'm saying if you don't have any fucking tactics, don't lie about it. If you hear voices, I'm not saying to go seek help, but understand that you fucking hear voices. Try to live a healthier lifestyle, make changes, change your environment.
Conspiracy Underground, there seems to be a competition within your head where you feel like because you show these one headlights and other stuff, you're a true TI and all this stuff, and everyone's fake because they don't have the evidence. You don't have to think like that, because I know you're a true TI, And if you don't believe somebody else as a true TI, then that's just your mind being so negative, wanting to doubt other people in the community. And it's also your ego wanting to be the one of the few TIs in the community. You don't have to be saying these things because it hurts TI's feelings, especially when sometimes you would say things directly to other TIs like me, calling me a fake and a seventh Hanyu woman and all this stuff. I mean, good thing that it doesn't bother me because I know what's going on. I know it's your dumpster staying gang stalkers. That's why it doesn't do anything to me. And I'm taking my time out to help you. Hopefully you can switch things around and be a little more positive in your approach.
Like, fuck. And you're on your high horse. I'm being respectful. I'm saying people that do drugs, that's your choice, man. Live your life. If that makes you fucking happy and you're happy and you can take care of your kids and bills and do drugs, that's awesome. Do it. You're probably going to not live as long, but as long as you're not hurting nobody, cool. But when you're coming on here and you don't have the self-realization, like, yo, dog, like, I hear voices. There's been millions of people that have heard voices that's been on schizophrenia meds. Like, it's an actual study. A lot of smart people have gathered around at universities and fucking, like, did reports, and this has been going on since, like, 100 years. Like, it's an actual thing. Before the technology for gang stalking exists, schizophrenia existed, bro.
They might be smart people, but they are not experiencing V2K or hearing voices. So they're just taking in the information from people experiencing it. And they don't understand where these voices are coming from, just like all the rest of the people. But the people hearing voices know it's not their own head. But yet the smart people have no answer because they have no experience in it. They'll make something up and just write them as mentally ill. And some of these patients, yeah, they do lose themselves and they do act really crazy. But not all people hearing voices act crazy.
The same voices, the same things. Type into Google, I hear a voice that says this, and the first thing's gonna pop up is schizophrenia. And almost every real target doesn't have voices, bro. It's just facts, man. Any real target that you can point out on YouTube isn't, I hear voices. Breaks, but I'm not being targeted. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You have no story. I have a story every fucking week, dude. I have a story almost every fucking day of things that are happening, dude. I just don't talk about it. You can't even tell a tactic, bro. Like, with my gang stalking, if anyone can sit here and prove that I'm not being gang stalked, I would love that. I would love to not be a victim of this gang stalk. I would love that I was a fake, right? I would absolutely love, like, I would wish that I was a fucking fake TI because I don't want to go through this shit anymore.
You are a true TI. I made many mention you're a true TI. No one is doubting you as a true TI. But you're so stuck on this. It seems like on a daily basis, you're stuck on this. You're a true TI.
I have no fucking opportunity, dude. Like, be one of them. Yeah, man, just put your guard down, conspiracy underground. I mean, I have no testimony. I can't even tell you one tactic, but I've been going through this for 10 years. I'm like, oh, do you get followed by drones? Yeah. Do you get the red car? Yeah. Do you get this? Yeah. Oh, like, what are you getting now? Oh, good. It's the same story. The whole reason I made this live stream is because the seventh Tsunami perp ass, dude. He's literally saying that he's not even using voice of skull. He's using your subconscious against you. It's a fucking weapon, dude. This guy has a nefarious agenda. He's using your own subconscious to get you in fucking trouble. He wants you to tell a psychiatrist, oh, I hear a voice that tells me to do bad shit, bro. It's not V2K, man. A normal human can filter out the skit.
Okay, so if you've been following my channel, you should know that I try to help a TI change their mindset. Try to not think about gang stalking all the time, and little by little get their life back. Because TI can agree that you become lost in this gang stalking program. Life is like you're drifting. So it's important to get yourself back and have hope again and look forward to a better future. And that's my approach. But somehow in his head, he can think of all those negative things about me and only take in all the negative stuff and openly just tells the world I'm just here to scam people. I'm here to try to fool people, try to use their subconscious against them, try to get people to go to psychiatrists and tell them, him or her, that TI can hear voices. No. But inside Conspiracy Underground's mind, that's what he thinks. And that is because his dumpster-stained gang stalkers do not like me. And I'm talking directly to them. Fuck you, dumpster-stained gang stalkers.
Schizophrenic voices because their brain chemistry is working as a filter, like a water filter. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things are caused by chemical imbalances. They seem super real, but you are super wrong. It's that fucking simple. Science proves it. Everything. Like with my gang stalking, whatever, Sean, this is what I have to say to you. I have nothing negative to say to you whatever, Sean, this is what I have to say to you. I have nothing negative to say to you because I don't fucking know you. You're on the internet. This is what I have to say. If you can do a better job with a YouTube channel, then fucking do it, man. I'm not running a complaint department. I don't think you're real. I never thought you were real. I was very respectful to you, but I never thought you were real because based on your actions, you couldn't tell me one thing in gang stalking. That there's a specific code of gang stalking. There's tactics, there's techniques that are physical, dude. All the real TIs get it. You don't. You can't even fucking on the fly make shit up. You still can't. You can't even say in the comments, I just got a bunch of one-headed lights yesterday. It's not happening, brother. Like, I don't know about gang stalking. Like, I don't know your life. You may be a victim of gang stalking, but you came in attacking me when I'm making a thing on 7th Hunan. So you're saying 7th Hunan is more credible than me. Like, that's what you're basically saying. Doesn't make sense, bro. V2K is not fucking real in most cases. And 90% of cases of these fakes, people that did drugs their entire fucking lives and got burnt out, never took care of their bodies, and now they're hearing voices at age 30 after a hit of crystal meth, bro. Like, fucking perp.
Okay, so I can't say I'm more credible than him because that's not up to me. But since the beginning, since my very first video, my approach is to be credible in the community and try to help TIs. So it's up to the viewers and the TIs in the community to decide if I am credible or not. So, but my entire approach is to be credible and try to keep it short and try to be no bullshit mentality and be positive. So that is my approach, and help a TI not think so negatively all the time.
Trying to figure you out, you dumbass. I want to know if you're a real TI. I'm putting my life out there. Why the fuck can't you just tell me if you're getting what tactics you're getting, bro? But I have to tell you what tactics I'm getting to prove that I'm a real TI. You're the perp. You're the crackhead, bro. Get out of here.
Okay, all TIs put their life out there. And I lived through that already. For years, I wouldn't go outside without being strapped. I would always be strapped with a 40 caliber, strapped everywhere I go. Thank God nothing bad happened. And all TI go through this. We actually believe that, oh, our lives are in danger or something bad could happen today because we're being followed. After all these years, what happened? Majority of TIs are still here. with maybe two cases where they just something bad happened to them, but the majority are still here. So that's something I learned from my experience. Why am I still living like this, being scared and afraid whenever I go out? Living your life thinking the worst is not a good way to live your life. You shouldn't be living your life thinking, oh, am I going to die today? Or today's going to be the day something bad's going to happen. That's not the way to live. And that is something I've been trying to teach the TI community to understand. That stress level, just thinking, oh, something bad could happen and worrying something bad could happen today, that is so stressful. It will drain you. It will drain you day by day throughout the years. Next thing you know, 5, 6, 10 years are gone and you're still here. Nothing happened.
Like, I'm not judging you. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't know your lives on here. But if you're gonna lie about gang stalking and you're a fucking drug addict, like, I just don't want anything to do with you. You're probably gonna steal money or do some fucking scam. You're not honest. You're not a genuine fucking person, bro. I'm asking you what tactics you get. You can't even tell me what tactics you get. You're a liar. That's what the fuck that means, bro. Bluffy the narc slayer, I think she's a perp. Like, I don't trust her as a TI, but she recently had the person I just described, that type of person. She just moved him into the house, gave him like $800 cash. He left trash everywhere. He was a complete asshole. He was a TI. It was a TI, bro. There's a bunch of people that don't work, that sit on their ass all day and do drugs. I'm not judging people that do drugs. But that's a thing, dude. There's a bunch of slackers that go around, they do heroin, they do crystal meth, they lay on the internet all day, and they pretend they're fucking targeted, bro. Because bad shit happens in their fucking life. I gave you a chance. I literally fucking like damn near interrogated you to tell me one tactic you get, and you just bullshit. I get all of them. What do you mean? Yeah, it's formal. Pull your phone out and record. Other than that, just for the benefit of the community, but don't talk about it. There's a lot of shit with V2K and things that I could talk about that I can't prove, that I don't talk about for the benefit of the whole community, because I don't want to look crazy. There's no point. Like,
the reason you don't talk about it is because you openly said you're not experiencing it. That's why you're not talking about it. But if you are experiencing it, you would most likely talk about it. That is the difference. You don't have experience with V2K. You don't need to put other TIs down, the ones that are receiving voice to skull. There's nothing to be said. You don't need to talk down on TIs receiving voice to skull, because the ones that are receiving voice to skull, they know it is real.
I'm not saying this person's a perp, that person's a perp. I don't fucking know who's an agent or perp. But you people that say you get V2K, right? Because I'm going to tell you, I get V2K, but it's fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's like the stuff that makes me make funny memes and shit, bro.
So now he's saying he does get V2K, but later on he's going to say he's not getting V2K, or he doesn't believe in V2K, or V2K is schizophrenia. The TI community do not like that word, because we know we are not crazy. We're just looking for the answer and the cause and the source behind this.
Are fucking mentally ill, bro. And I'm not diagnosing people. I'm not armchair psychiatrist. I'm not diagnosing people on here, because I could give a fuck less, like, to be honest, because I'm not a fucking mental police officer here. Like, I don't, it's not my call. As long as you're not trying to hurt me or anyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be left alone if you're mentally ill. That's how I feel.
But he is kind of diagnosing people. I mean, the best approach for him is to not even talk about V2K because he doesn't know. He's thumbs.
Always say that in the game talking to me. Oh, it's a woman and there's a man. Like, think about this, guys. If you have V2K from game stalking, why would there be a team of people in your head, bro? Like an actual team of live humans. Like, they would have to hook up their brains to some type of fucking like Inception type of like brain interface to do shit like that, dog. They can't just sit there with a microphone and a computer and talk all day. That doesn't make sense, bro. Get out of here. The female voice get vigilant if you're like, yo, you're schizophrenic. No, you're in on it. You're part of the people. That's what they think. Like, that's literally how they think. So this guy's name is Cunty Mixes Do You Hear, right? Because no one explains what V2K is. V2K is a phenomenon that is potential in game stalking. Like, I don't hear voices regularly, but in my targeting, I feel like I'm hooked up to a computer, a quantum computer, a supercomputer. That's just my theory. Like, I have no proof of that shit. I just lived through this experience where I'm given information I shouldn't know. And that's why I'm in.
Okay. So he said he doesn't get voices regularly. So he is receiving voice to skull. So he's starting to recognize it. And I will explain later on exactly what's going on because gang stalking comes first. And then you reach voice to skull, which is your passage. So Conspiracy Underground have reached the passage, but not really. He's at the doorstep. Because he just said he does receive voices, but not regularly. And he also feel like, oh, sometimes there's these different ideas that comes in, but he thinks he's connected to a supercomputer. Those ideas that comes in, that's the lower voice to skull, Conspiracy Underground. Do you understand? Something I've been teaching this entire time.
Making this video on 7 Hunan, man, because he doesn't even, my problem with 7 Hunan, man, is he literally reinvents gang stalking to just like your subconscious telling you to do bad things. And he won't acknowledge red cards. So yeah, he says, oh, the gang stalkers are real, but they're in your head. That doesn't make sense. Now, some of the stuff he says is true. Like, we do falsely accuse people of gang stalking that aren't gang stalking. And that's wrong. And that's crazy, to be honest. Like, if you're going out accusing this guy and that guy and going confronting gang stalkers, that's worse than what they're doing, technically, because you're the aggressor. So, and you don't take accountability that you're wrong. Like I'm not downplaying V2K and gang stalking, but you have to have, when you're saying V2K, guys, like, I'm just being honest, bro, within the community, you have to have a story of gang stalking. Like, yeah, they're doing V2K, and I can film the tactics. Now, one person that I would kind of believe is most targeted citizen, because he has the most targeted citizen says he hears the V2K, but he has the physical testimony of years and years of he's claiming that everything's being damaged. So that's different. I'm not saying V2K doesn't exist. I'm saying if you don't have any fucking tactics, don't lie about it. If you hear voices, I'm not saying to go seek help, but understand that you fucking hear voices. Try to live a healthier lifestyle, make changes. Change your environment.
So in the passage is when you recognize voice to skull. When you're in gang stalking, this is the part where a TI did not recognize voice to skull yet. And he or she would believe, oh, people in public are the gang stalkers, and they don't hear any voices in their head. So that just means they are still here at the gang stalking stage, which is a very basic stage.
So yeah, you guys want to have, there's people that come from Christina Marie's chat that, like, these are the type of people I'm talking about. These people that are encouraged by 7 Hunan. You guys are perps, like, you are, man. Like, I'm really financially suffering. Like, money's coming out of my bank account by the hundreds, dude. thousands a year, like just stuff I can't even control. And you guys want to talk about like people looking at you funny and voices in your head? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, no, bro. Gang stalking, look up all the testimony, man. It's physical, bro. It's very much physical things you see, bro. It's not feelings, right? It's not shit like that. This is the deal, man. Like 729, man, nicest guy on the internet. He seems like a very cool guy, like a trustworthy guy. And I'm not taking anything away from him. So this is my problem with 729, man. Overall, I've never seen like a mean dude, very respectful, right? He says that gang stalking is just the voices in your head that lie to you, right?
Okay, Conspiracy Underground. You're still using that phrase to represent me. You're paraphrasing that I claim gang stalking is just V2K, it's just voices in people's head. And that is too simple of a explanation, okay? Because if you go back and watch the very first video 1 of 40, the very first video of the True Truth of Gang Stalking series, I explained what happened to me before I made that video. So I already explained that a lot of these gang stalking tactics, you know, some people have similar ones and other people have a little bit different experience. I explained what I went through. And that's what led me to make the videos. That was my very first YouTube video. So I already explained how I experienced those similar tactics. And my goal is to not continuously talk about these tactics. My goal is to make the TIs, hopefully try to convert the TIs from not thinking all the negative stuff of gang stalking So I already explained what I went through. And I'm not gonna focus on those things because it's a mindset where people going through gang stalking, they're always put into this negative mindset, and over time, it drains the person. It makes a person lose hope. And since the very first video, my approach is to change the perspective of the TI to make them think more positively.
Let's say you call out a gang stalker and you later find out that wasn't a gang stalker. Are you gonna apologize? No, you're gonna be like, oh well, they need to stop gang stalking me then. No. Like what you're doing and how you react could be worse than what they're doing to you. They're luring you into a trap.
Okay, guys, I'm back. The reason I made that last part so slow is to try to help you guys practice staying focused, because it might sound lame and dumb, but there's actually a lot more to it. By talking slow, it requires you to train your mind to put more energy into focusing on paying attention and keep that train of thought of the speaker, of what I'm saying. And I hope it'll help train your mind to have focus again, because I know a lot of TIs, based on my personal experience, focus is a problem. That is because of the lower voice to skull. Now I have two people, content creators, going to join me on this open chat. So here we go. And one of them is Conspiracy Underground, and the other is 10. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. How are you, 10?
So,
Oh, is that here? Okay, yes. Sorry to interrupt you, Conspiracy Underground. What did you have to say?
uh, go ahead, bro.
So what did you think of the video I just made? Did you watch it from beginning to end, or just kind of in the middle of it?
I was just gonna say, like, I didn't see any of this live stream. I did a live stream 10 minutes ago, so I'm just coming on to kind of have discourse with you because it seems like we disagree on what gang stalking is, and I'm willing to hear what you got to say because I don't think that what you're saying is wrong. But my problem is that you don't acknowledge, I'm not going to say the government program, but the physical harassment that TIs get. So I want to just hear your thoughts on that.
Okay. And I know you put out videos on the physical part, and my very first video on my channel, I talked about how what led me to make videos for the TI community was because I went through all these different things. Now, the one headlight tactic, that never bothered me. So I was never bothered by any cars with one headlight because my mind wasn't focused on that. But what did bother me was definitely the neighbor. What bothered me was whenever I leave the home, I feel like my neighbors were following me. And at restaurants, I would screen the people and think if my neighbor's actually sitting there at a table. So that's one thing I went through. And I also went through years of believing something bad's gonna happen today, and I would go anywhere. I wouldn't leave the house unless I'm strapped. And the color, the red and blue, that did not bother me as a TI. That was never a thing that bothered me because my mind wasn't focusing on that specific of color. Now, the one headlight and the color is something I learned as I started making videos and learning from other TIs that it's something that's going on. So it's like a variation of what's happening. But the believing that people are actually following me, people are spying on me, cameras inside my home, talking out of the TV, the radio, I would think is speakers. I mentioned many times. So those little different things that I went through. And that's what led me to research and eventually found gang stalking, and it's just similar to what I'm experiencing. And that's how I eventually knew that, okay, so they call it this. And when I first started making videos, my whole approach is to bring a positive vibe and help a TI change their mindset, because I know for years I was very negative. I was daydreaming a lot, wasting a lot of my time, poor time management, not giving a shit about my credit, just gave up on a lot of things in life and stopped talking to friends, too lazy to even go visit my friends. And I was a different person. Just so naked.
Yeah, I understand, but it sounds like I don't know, this is just what I hear. It sounds like, okay, there's some targeted individuals that are mentally ill, right? And I'm not gonna even, like, I'm a TI and I come on YouTube, and I won't say they're crazy, I won't say they're dangerous, but yeah, they have mental problems, right? And they come on YouTube and vent their frustrations. But what about for the TIs that don't have any issues, they don't hear any voices, and like they have proof of videotapes of people coming onto their property and damaging their stuff? Like, what do you think about that? What do you think that is? Because I know you don't think it's a government program. So what do you think when people show that type of evidence and it keeps happening to them? Like, what do you think is that lower voice to skull to make other people attack them? Like, what is that?
Well, I can't answer for the people, but then based on what you're saying, how often is this happening? Because if it's happened more than once, like what type of measure have you done? Because
Okay, let me give you an example. I'm not the best at showing evidence. I can show the one headlights, I can show the drones and the things that aren't physical. So I'm gonna give you an example of a channel that has physical evidence. It's gonna be hard to find it because he has a lot of videos, but he has literally over 12 to 20 incidences of random people attacking him. All right, his name is Kevin Perlman. So that's an example. He lives. I can't really. I can type his name and you can in the chat, and like later on you can kind of search it or screen share it. I don't want to leave the browser because my phone is a piece of shit. So hold up.
Sure. Now,
so okay, if you type that into YouTube, you'll see a YouTube channel named Kevin Perlman, and he has like 2 channels. It's a guy. He has a mustache. He's funny looking. I think he's wearing like a hat or something. But that's what I mean. There's a lot of targeted individuals. Not as many now that had people attacking them, and they have it all on video. Like he has it on video. He has literally videos, dash cams of people attacking him, and you can see him in the video. So he calls the police. The police don't help him, and he's just labeled as mentally ill. So like, what do you think those type of targets are going through? Like, do you think it's spiritual?
Here's the thing. Let me ask. I understand what you're saying, but my question is, how often did that happen when people attacking him?
So I'll give you an example. For him, like what he has documented that you can show, like in a year, it happened like 4 or 5 times. And then he has people putting poop on his car. He has people keying his car. And it happens to people, like that's what happened to me. Like things like that have happened to me, and real targets, right? Like people that I consider real. So I'm saying, like, I'm not saying that's common as far as YouTube, but like when you see people on YouTube talking about gang stalking, you won't see a lot of them talking about that. But I'm just like asking, like, I don't know what that is. Like, it seems like some type of police program or something to me. But if someone shows you that type of evidence, what do you think that is? Like, what's your theory on that?
One second, I got an incoming call. Just 1 second, okay?
Funny time to get a call.
Yeah, I go on these lives sometimes, bro, and people act a little weird too, but I don't know.
Okay. So, okay, here we go. Now, when you said it happened 4 times out of a year, yeah, that can happen to people. But my question is, so now that it happened, what have this Kevin Perlman guy done to prevent it from happening again?
He has cameras all in his cars. Like every car he owns, he has cameras. That's how he's even able to catch it. So he's catching his neighbors. Like in a year, it's probably happened like 15, 20 times when you count the vandalism. So he's catching his actual neighbors that he can identify doing it. He calls the police, and he's labeled as mentally ill. He's labeled like, you know what I'm saying? So he is, I mean, it's hard to explain. But there's multiple TIs like that, you know?
See, here's the thing with the TI community is, okay, I mentioned if you live with a lot of neighbors, you have it tough, okay? So if you live with a lot of neighbors, it's gonna be tough for you. And I don't know his background. I don't know how he talks to his neighbors. I don't know if his neighbor likes him or whatever, or he's
a weird person. So I understand people not liking him. Yeah.
I don't know his background. I don't know him. So I don't know how he talks to people. I don't know if he steps on people's toes all the time, and people don't like him. Because if you live with a lot of people, that community, people tend to kind of word of mouth. They know each other, okay, or they see each other.
Now, to your credit, he's really annoying. He'll hand out business cards about his targeting. He has his own website about targeting, right? So he'll hand it out to his neighbors.
I think I've seen this guy.
I'm sure. Have you ever seen him?
I think I've seen this guy or somebody talking about him. Yeah. So honestly, guys, this is my take really quickly on it. There may be different variations to it, right? Because we don't know. You know, at the fusion centers or wherever shit place they're doing this, right? We don't know how they're initially planning this, but I don't understand how they would start targeting you, like with stalking without the V2K. It just does not make sense. This comes like as a whole policy for you, my guy. You know, whether you want to admit.
Can you define V2K, bro?
V2K is you're hearing voices from either people, demonic people, or witches. We're not really sure who the fuck these things are, you know? I'm not sure if they're entities or...
I mean, like, because I have ideas and shit that I feel like don't come from me, right?
No,
so I understand. Like, what is V2K to you? Is it a different person's voice? Like, what do you...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I don't get that.
I doubt you don't get it, bro. Because then otherwise,
I barely can hear myself think. Like I'm fucking like dumb.
Otherwise, then why does it bug you then? The whole program. I get it. It's intrusive, and they're probably doing some shit.
Because they break into my house and they fuck with shit. They like literally damage everything I own. They break every phone. They literally hack my phone, take money out of my bank account. Like I've proven
this everywhere you live at.
I mean, once I moved to this state, it got way worse. Like it was happening in my home state, but once I moved, it seemed like it got way worse. To be honest, yeah.
Okay, so like then you might just be like a target of some kind of different harassment, you know, without the V2K. But other than that, bro, and I'm not saying you have it easier than other people. That shit sucks and it's infuriating. You know, you're getting violated by people fucking coming into your shit, but. I really doubt they're not possessing you, but my guy.
Well, here's the thing.
Synthetically.
I mean, bro, I have evidence of they destroy every car I own, bro. They key new cars. If I buy a new car right now, I can literally document that it will get keyed the same within a week. And I'm talking about it will be consistent. Like I can literally show you, oh, this is a new car. There's no scratches, and then a few days later there'll be scratches on it. That's just they done it when I went to my parents' house, dude. I took a rental car and they put cigarette holes in the rental car. I don't even smoke
have you
cigarettes.
tried to
I have a video on it.
watch all night or keep watch or something like that?
Yes, I put cameras up, dude. Do you know how crazy that drives you to literally review footage? It takes hours, and to stay up all night looking out the window, bro. Sometimes
But if
I
it's
think
happening all the time, bro, I would have done it maybe like once or twice
I
already.
did do it. I'm trying to take care of my mental health. I don't worry about
for
it.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? That shit
But
will
did you
drive me
see
crazy.
anybody messing with your car or going over to your car?
Nah, I didn't see it. I parked it
And
under
why
a
do you think
camera
that
and
is,
everything.
bro? Because they know what you're thinking, bro. They know they're seeing what you're seeing and hearing what you're hearing, so they know what you're gonna do ahead of time. And you guys, I don't know if it's to that extent to you guys, but for some people, they're even scripting this shit. So they're working with algorithms in our lives now too.
Yeah, I have predictive things. I've had thoughts
Yeah.
that like predictive things. Like I understand V2K, but
Yeah.
all I'm saying when I made a video the other day
And
that
that's not
schizophrenia
necessarily the
mimics V2K.
V2K. That's more the neural transmission or whatever machine. You know, it's like a separate, I would say like a separate thing, because the neural things, you know, they're talking to you. The V2K is like a microwave kind of straw
Yeah,
type of
I
signal.
understand V2K technology exists, but listen, this is what my whole argument is. We know schizophrenia is multiple voices, and they always say degrading shit most of the time. So if you're hearing voices and it's like "fuck you, you're fat," and you don't get any other tactics, like that's all you get. Like you only hear those voices, you don't see anything or nothing. It could be mental illness.
So they might have different variations where it's like they just want us to self-sabotage, you know what I mean? And they're not necessarily or they're like trying to blackball us, or they'll do the work mobbing. A lot of things I've noticed too is like they'll pull you up, you know, in life, and they'll give you an opportunity, and then they'll help you sabotage yourself or push towards that. And then, you know, it's like pull me up just to push me down type of shit. So it's just different tactics, bro. I think. What do you think, Seven?
Well, here's what I have to say. Conspiracy Underground, you made a mention that you do hear voices, not regularly, and you also receive thoughts of making memes when you hear those like voices. Okay, so
Yeah, I
to
don't
me,
hear voices. I've never heard voices. I can barely hear myself think. Like when you're younger, you can hear your own voice in your head think. I don't hear anything. Like I don't hear any voices or
I can
hallucinate.
pull back. I'll pull back that video if you want to see it. It's coming out of your mouth. You're the one saying it. I can pull it back if you want to see it.
Conspiracy.
Now I've
What
heard
do you
a
say? You
V2K
can barely
voice
hear yourself
once.
think. What does that mean?
No, I heard a V2K voice. It sounded like it was projected from basically like some type of gun projected a sound in my room, and it was telling me to rap when I was sleeping in bed. Hey, Seven, I believe what you're saying, that there are voices that trick you in gang stalking that make you, hey, that's a perp, when it's not a perp. I actually believe you. But you're saying that gang stalking doesn't exist outside of that. That's why I disagree with you.
No. I said gang stalking is in the physical. Gang stalking is real. Okay.
Yeah, but gang stalking is not the scary part. The gang stalking is the laughable, fucking. You know, in my situation, like my house isn't getting broken into or my car or anything like that. They have scratched my car and they have done some other shit in my life, covertly too, but not so directly towards my physical belongings like you. And I mean that's a type of targeting, I would say. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I don't know what they call it exactly, but
see, Conspiracy Underground, you're a real TI. Okay, I said that many times. You're a real TI, and when those bad things are happening to you, like I want to know, have you really done everything possible to prevent it from happening again?
I mean, within my means, yeah, because another thing is just like the voices you're talking in your head, that the lower voice is called, right? Like, I agree with what you're saying, because when these bad things happen, I could hear, I'm not saying I do, but there's a possibility I could hear a voice be like, you need to go do this, or you need to be upset. That's what you're talking about. And I understand what you mean. Yes. I don't get that. I used to, because that's it's your subconscious. your subconscious is gonna be like, man, you need to fucking punch someone in the
And
face
then I
right now. But you're
understand
not gonna do it.
conspiracy. What you're saying, like if you take care of your physical well being and all that good stuff, it diminishes some the V2K,
Yeah,
if not all, you know. But they're still messing with you with the with the directed
that's
weapons, bro.
possible.
Yeah,
I just don't. I can't explain it. I mean, let's ask 7Q now,
because
man. So
it
where
just
are
seems, bro, like how I'm just judging your voice, and I may be wrong. It just seems like you know, a little distress, just a little distress there, like a little concern.
I mean, this shit doesn't really bother me. I mean, the only thing that bothers me is the financial sabotage. Like once that gets, I get over those hills. Like I just don't care about gang stalking. I've been going through this for a long time, so
Yeah,
I expect it. Now, 7Q, now, man, I wanted to ask you real quick. What are the voices? What are they? Are they spirits or what do you think they are? Like, because I never really watched all your videos.
they're both.
From my experience, okay, they are spirits. And I know it's hard to understand and accept that idea because it took me years, over 2 years, to fully understand this idea. And that's with V2K. Because as soon as the V2K, if they don't talk, I forget about them. It's like out
You
of my
know
mind.
what's like another clue too? Seventh, these things never cough or sneeze or whistle or anything like that. They don't clear their throat. If you wake up at 2 in the morning, they're there. 5 in the morning, they're there. You know what I mean? It's like they don't sleep or anything, but they're very, very human. Like their personality is superhuman. Like,
Okay, like my multiple voices I hear, they are African American. Okay.
oh,
And whenever I watch sport TV or whatever, like let's say a boxing match, I would get
that's not
them
bad.
telling me they're more like cheerful for like an African American person. Like there's like that, a pride, like what I'm saying. So that's one thing that helped me when I would hear people on the next aisle talking trash in the beginning. So these were African American voices. So when I go to the next aisle, either I don't see anyone, or if I do see people, I don't see any African American people. And when I do go engage talking to these people, the voices don't match.
But you
So
know they're working through the grid, right? And they're directing energy weapons at your ear, at your cranium, and at your body. So and there's patents out there from DARPA. There's endless patents of this shit.
and that's one thing I have tried. I put myself in a steel container, those thick steel containers, shipping containers.
And you didn't hear
And
anything.
I have gone scuba diving, 60 feet down. It's not that deep, but still. But the voice to skull is very, like the volume's turned down. And I only heard two voices instead of a bunch of different voices.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. They don't sleep. If I have radios on, I can hear them through the radio.
Yeah, TV,
So it's like sound.
fans, all that shit. Engines.
Even a fan, or like a air conditioning.
Any kind of energy
Yeah.
grouping. Yeah.
Even like a
Are these
refrigerator.
voices intelligent? Are these voices smart? Do they have like long
Yeah,
conversations?
they're smart. But what they're trying to do, what they're trying to do is just make you trip on yourself. They're like retarded children. They don't do anything else, and it's weird. Like on Christmas, like whatever holiday, whatever weekend, they don't do anything else, man. They're just there. So it's really, really fucking weird. But then sometimes I'm like, no, these things got to be AI or demonic. And then boom, like I'll hear them like right outside somewhere in my neighborhood, But I know they can direct the weapons. They can make them seem like these people are next to
But when
you.
you start talking about weapons and shit, like, do you have any, like, have you ever seen a van with a satellite or like, how do you base that off of? How do you know besides reading off the internet?
No. So what I'm basing it off of is the patents, and there's actually lectures. There's a guy called James Giordino. He's the lead He's the lead in the neuroscience
So
for the
you
government.
would be talking about MK Ultra. Like this is what you V2K like kind of people don't understand. If
Hmm.
people are sending voices to your head and it's like an experiment, that's like
Yeah,
MK Ultra type shit. That's not like, oh,
yeah,
it's just
yeah. But
V2K.
they're using
Like it's
that the
blanket
V2K
term.
technology. The V2K is just the device, not the program or whatever. But yeah, it's a kind of coin what is it, Cointel Pro or whatever it is, and MK Ultra type of shit. You're right.
Now I'll tell you
I
this.
mean, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I just don't know because I don't give V2K, so I can't make any claims on it. But
Okay.
like that's what like when people talk about it, they just talk about like, oh, it's just V2K. It's people talking in your head, but it's like, why would they do that? Like, who's behind that? It's oh, it's a guy, it's a girl, it's a white
Yeah,
woman. It's like what do you mean like that? I don't understand that shit. It's just
yeah. Well,
voices.
they
That's
sound like
I
people. They
mean,
sound like people.
but schizophrenia has the same shit though. Like schizophrenia literally
No,
mimics
no, dude.
everything that we're
So,
talking about.
so this is another clue that for me. Okay, see you. So when I go to a store or something, and they think I'm kind of vulnerable that day, or I'm weak, I haven't slept that well, and I've been like triggered all night, and I'm kind of upset, but I had to go out, right? They'll start making little noises or references to my targeting. I know we can manifest a lot of things because our mind is powerful, but trust me, dude, it's like I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not an idiot. I'm always, for the most part, in my five senses, um, and I can pick up on this shit now. You know what I mean? So it's like they have another like button where they can just broadcast it to the whole city. Also, your thoughts and what you're feeling, bro. And it's weird. I don't know how they do it, but trust me, I have witnessed it. I witnessed it today at the store where they were making gay references and stuff like that. I'm not gay, but they have that gay agenda on us and shit too.
I don't
So
know, man. Like we're all hooked up to like a computer or something, like every human.
yeah,
Because today I was on
but it can
YouTube.
be wireless too. See you, because a lot of things are wireless now.
Yeah, it is wireless. But listen, just check it out. I'm gonna tell you like these coincidences. I was
For sure.
driving. I was watching
Mm-hmm.
Queen Elizabeth on my YouTube on
Mm-hmm.
my phone while I'm driving, and I
For
look
sure.
up and the car has a sticker that says Queen on it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I was literally looking at Queen Elizabeth
Yeah.
Freemasonry, and then the car in front of me says Queen on it. Like that's what I
So
mean.
that
Like that
that
type of
makes me
stuff
think.
happens.
Yeah,
That's a
see you. That
coincidence.
makes me think like, what if that whole trip or that whole day for you was already scripted, and they're just hypnotizing you, synthesizing you, and dropping fucking the fucking your whole layout of your day or week during the night when you're sleeping with the microwave messages,
Well,
directly to your
I
skull.
mean, just to symbolize what I think is basically everyone has a cell phone. That
Hmm.
quantum computing has become so advanced, it can predict where you're going to drive, what time you're going to go. Everyone's carrying a
Mm.
computer on them, and the quantum computer is scripting like how I saw that Queen thing. It's like a coincidence. Like that's just been going on. That has nothing to do
But
with game talking, though.
wouldn't something or somebody would have to go out of their way a little bit for that to be
Nah,
like continuous correlations and stuff like that. Like it's just like and or they could just be playing God
no,
with
it's
us,
it's
man,
a, it's someone
and
giving
putting
you
shit
the
in front of
thought.
us.
I'm trying
Huh?
to tell you, this is what you guys call quote unquote V2K.
Hmm.
Someone is telling you to think that when you see it, like it already knows it's coming and it's giving you
Yeah.
the thought to look at it. Like
No. Yeah.
I,
No.
that's
I
what I
know that.
mean.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I call lower voice to skull.
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
And I'll tell you
They
guys
they
it's a
know
right now.
what we're
Hold
gonna
phenomenon.
on.
think, so they're trying
Right
to.
now,
They're
you guys
trying.
are talking,
It
right?
has
You guys are
nothing to do
talking
with
about
game
us.
stalking, though. It's a
Yeah.
phenomenon that's real, but I don't think it has anything to do with the actual government or the police program.
It absolutely
That's
does because there's patents from the government, bro. And there's people doing whole lectures, 2-3 hour lectures
so you
on
think cops
YouTube.
are using brain technology on
Yes,
us? They're
at the
not very smart.
fusion centers. Yeah, at the fusion centers, they're
Okay,
using the grid.
I can maybe see that.
Yeah, they're using the grid and the 5G stuff. The cell phone antennas and shit.
I
See
mean,
how
that's
you
what I think
guys.
most of B2K stuff is like 5G waves and
Yeah,
implanted thoughts from
but it
fucking
is a
5G.
targeting. It is a targeting program.
Hey, you guys. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
listen,
It could be
listen.
both.
Conspiracy. Listen. So notice how you guys were talking about all these different things that could be what's going on. That is
Yeah.
like an intuition. It's like you have a feeling that this is happening. It could be this, it could be that. That intuition is like a sixth sense.
Hmm.
And what sixth sense are usually relates to communication with spirits. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So it's
Yeah.
like a lot of TIs would actually spill out what's going on with the program, but in reality, they don't. You think, okay, they have a gut feeling. A gut feeling is intuition. An intuition, gut feeling, that's sixth sense. So,
Yeah.
in a better way to put it, instead of we're just all like we're like bad people, the government want to get rid of us.
Mhm.
Like we are special people. I've been telling you guys we're special.
We are.
We can
Yeah.
communicate with another
Yeah.
source of information. It's like we're
Yeah.
connected
I've been
in,
dealing with that.
like you
Yeah.
said, a giant computer, whatever, supercomputer, whatever you want to call it. Like
Yeah.
we're
Spirits.
connected to that realm.
Yeah. Why
Like
do you
we
guys
are.
think they have endless supercomputers? There is a supercomputer, a mother computer that's running everything now, and people just don't know it. Like you said, conspiracy. That bitch is fucking predicting what we're doing for that week. Based
Well,
on this decision and that decision, they probably know us better than we do ourselves.
well, the computer is going to take over in the future. So what it's doing is doing small chess moves every day. So it's able to
Right.
predict everything we're doing. Now, to what 7Q9 said, there is
Mhm.
a spiritual aspect. There is times
There
where
is.
like
Yep.
basically I got knowledge from the spirit world and I knew stuff I shouldn't have known. So
Right.
in V2K, there's also voices that will that aren't your voice. I'll tell you do something bad.
Yep.
That's like your
Yep.
subconscious. That's like a spiritual thing too. So I think
Yeah. Yeah.
basically we're both right, in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
there is a program where people are put on a list and they're harassed for one reason or another, and it also is spiritual voices and shit that could trick you to do bad shit.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
You know what the cool thing is though too is like we can manifest things too now. They fuck with our reality, and we can manifest our own realities now too. Um, and we can bring judgment to them too.
You're,
Contactless.
you're right, 1-0. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. TI,
Why do you think the whole world's been flooding, bro?
like us TIs, we have a lot of power. If we
Yeah.
can come together in a circle
Yep.
and all agree on meditating on one thing, because we're
Yep.
connected. If we all agree to meditate together on one thing in a circle, our thoughts will be very powerful and project out into the universe and be into another realm. Like they can hear us better than other people, and they'll take us more seriously. I know that sounds kind of like hard to prove. I'm not going to try to prove it, but that's just how I feel.
Okay, I can dig it. I mean, 7Q9, are you a Christian by any chance?
No. And,
You're
and
not.
there are studies, okay? There are studies. I can pull up an article, but there are studies where they have gather a bunch of people together and think positive for one person, and that one person actually the effects actually shows. Like that's a
Yeah.
study. I can pull up the article, but I don't want to go into detail paraphrasing, because it's better if I just pull it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that prayer has like scientific studies and like I used to go to church when I was younger and that shit feels real when you get healed by people and shit. Like you feel tingly and so
Mhm.
there is things in humans that are like spiritual. Like I'm not
Yeah, because
denying
it's
that.
energy, bro. Everything's energy.
And
Our
also with the go
even
ahead, my bad.
our cells that are formed into, they're clustered into like our bodies and like the stuff we see, our cars, tables, chairs. They're just energy right there. They're just light. And all that shit comes from resonance from a sound. So everything has a sound. you know that's why they try
True.
to shut us up and isolate us and make us feel like shit, so we don't use our voice, our power, the power of our voice and our intention. Another video that I saw too of this guy, he quickly just said that if you're gonna go do something, like if you go to the store or you're going to work, you can kind of visualize your day. Doesn't have to be like specific, but you can kind of see what you're going to do throughout the day, like with a good outcome, and it actually helps you have a better day.
So
So yeah, we do have power.
Conspiracy Underground, like, can you tell us what is the number one thing that bothers you right now in your gang stalking experience?
Well, he said he's getting broken into and his money.
So just money, finance, number one thing that bothers you.
Yeah, it's not a consistent like every day like it's hard to explain. Like I recently just put new brakes on my car and like I'm not counting that as gang stalking. My car is old, right? So that's fine. Within 5 days, it looks like someone went under my brake pedal and broke this rubber piece off, left my brake lights on, my battery died. Like that type of shit happens all the fucking time. It's like a mockery. So sometimes the program isn't like 100% all the time hardcore, but they do like campaigns where they're like, all right, well, he's getting basically if I have a certain amount of money in my bank, they fuck up something in my house. They've done it to my parents. My parents have run around and fixed thing after thing. One thing breaks, they fix it. They fix another thing. This breaks. It's financial sabotage.
So when
It's
you
not
feel like coming up a
it's
little
not
bit
bad
and
luck.
starting to save up, boom, they hit you with something.
They monitor my bank account. Once I get like $500, they literally destroy my car. They destroyed a $5,000 car within a month. They blew up the radiator. They keyed it.
And maybe
They
don't keep
destroyed the alternator. Once I fixed the alternator for $800, they blew up the radiator. I have it all on video. Like I have proof of everything I talk about. Just because I bought a nice car, they had to destroy it within a month. So it is a real program that's like maybe this is some type of local white supremacy law enforcement thing because I didn't experience as bad as sabotage in the last. Well, I basically always had sabotage, but this is more hardcore where I'm living at now. So I don't know if it's a corrupt law enforcement or I pissed someone off or what's going
I
on.
saw
But
somebody fucking with my car, bro. I don't care what they're doing to it. You know, I may kill them.
yeah, and it's to get me to go to prison. That's how you know it's gang stalking. Because if I'm paranoid about my car being broken and they send someone the key and I catch them and I lay hands on them, that's an assault charge. I go to jail. So it is like a scientifically, like it's a takedown. That's what they're trying to do. Like
How
it's
do you
never
park?
gonna stop.
How do you park your car? Do you just park wherever there's a parking? Because you live in a. Do you have a lot of neighbors?
Well, in this apartment, it was one building with a whole bunch of apartments, like a tower, and it was one big parking lot. So I started parking literally away from every car in the back where no one else parked, no cars near me, and it was still getting every day. My new car was getting scratched daily. It was because I had a nicer car.
Do you have
camera?
pictures of that?
I have pictures of it. I have everything I talk about. I have a video on it. They
Right.
destroyed my rental car. I had a nice rental car. I didn't pay for the insurance. They put cigarette holes all in the seat, and they took the paint off. They cut the paint off, and they keyed the inside of it. They cut it up. So on a rental car, dude. And luckily I did I got my money back. I kind of like finessed my way over the customer service, and I lied. I said it came like that. I had to because it was just because I had money in my bank account. That's all they literally watch my bank and they'll drain it at one thing after another. I can fix everything and prefix it with all the money and they'll still break stuff. That's the worst part about it, really. The one headlights and shit, I can give a fuck less. I can never record that and not care. I get those a lot. I got 21 headlights in an hour sitting in front of my house. That's one every 2 minutes.
Good thing you brought this up.
The daytime.
I've been wanting to ask you. So when you see a one headlight, what does it do to you? Like, I want to know.
It doesn't do anything.
But then
At this point,
you said it bothers you. Okay, let's go back a
it
year
doesn't
ago.
bother me.
Go back a year ago. What did it do to you when you see a one headlight?
Well, it would like excite me because it was starting to happen, and I wasn't never sure I was gang stalked until I started getting one headlights everywhere I go and vanity plates and different tactics on the road in the daytime, like all the time. So it would be on and off. So it would do nothing. I would be like, this is 17 now. This is what I would think. Even as a TI, I would think that is a normal person that has a one headlight burnt out. I do not think that's a gang stalker. That's what I thought for a long time. And then it started happening so much in the daytime. I'm like, I guess it's gang stalking. Like I drive for 5 minutes and I see 41 headlights in the daytime.
Yeah. But you don't pay attention to it now as much, right? Like,
it doesn't bother me, no. I don't even look at it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Because they may know that, and like maybe the spiritual aspect of it is manifesting that, so you can pay attention to it, and then it'll bother you or whatever.
Exactly. So because going back to the beginning, okay, you saw one headlight, it didn't do anything to you. But all of a sudden, you start seeing a lot of one headlight, and you start making
Which
that
is okay
connection.
to acknowledge it, because that shit's weird.
Yeah. So what led your mind to all of a sudden start making that connection? So
I
you
saw
gotta
it
think about
online.
this. So the idea when you research online, right, about what's going on, that idea once it pops into your mind, it's a seed, and that idea can actually be used by these gang stalkers, because now your gang stalker knows you have this idea in your head. It could be used as a weapon in a good way or a bad way, but it's always benefits the gang stalkers. So once a TI receive a thought like that and make that connection, then from there, moving forward in life, the gang stalker could use it as a way to trigger the TI. Okay, so if it's a negative effect, every time the gang stalker using lower voice to skull to trigger that idea, then you're gonna start feeling all negative again, and you start thinking about, oh, that one headlight's gotta be the gang stalkers, you know. So that's how they trigger a TI, like that initial thought. As soon as you see one headlight, the next thought is usually gang stalkers.
Yeah,
that's what you have to
Yeah,
recognize. That first
I,
thought.
I agree with that aspect, but from a physical standpoint, the reason why they do that, I don't think you understand why they do that, is they hit me with enough one headlights, and if I have a weak mental state, and like you said, the lower voice of skull takes over, like I start hearing the voice that says, attack that gang stalker, he has a one headlight. Then I go to jail. I just put myself in jail over a one headlight. It's not illegal. So you understand that these people, they don't know who we are. They don't know me personally. They're just paid to drive around with one headlight to go to certain locations. And they send literally so many of them. If I'm stupid enough, I can go crazy one day and be like, the first one headlight I see, I'm going to fucking punch him in the mouth and go to jail.
That's the thing. Okay,
that's why
so
they do it.
Let's say they are being sent to you. But you can only do so much, you know, you can only control yourself. So even though you've seen the one headlight, you have the power to not let that bother you.
Yeah,
and if you don't
I
let
agree.
it bother you, you wouldn't think about hurting them or
yeah.
whatever.
So
Right?
eventually, you're not.
Yeah,
even
that's what I'm saying. You have to have a strong will. But if you're mentally ill, let's say you have a low IQ. I'm not making fun of people. There's certain people that have lower IQs that they don't understand things well. If they don't have that, I have a pretty high IQ. They don't, you know what I'm saying? That's not fair to them. This is what it's made for. It's
And
made for people that are
right now
mentally ill that need to be taken off the street.
Right now, you're telling me you're worrying for other people with low IQ. Don't worry about them. Don't think about them. Only
No,
think
I'm
about
not.
yourself. Because you're talking about how some people with lower IQ, they might not realize it, but you're going too far. Just think about yourself, and that's it. You don't have to stress over other people and worry for other people. You know.
Yeah,
So
I'm at the point where gang stalking, like at this point in my life, like I just accept that it's gonna happen regardless.
So who are you living with, though?
I live by myself.
By yourself. And you can't you can't like live with somebody, like with a roommate or something, like or rent a room.
I prefer not to.
I know you prefer not to, but at this point, if they're just breaking into your shit and there's not really anything you can do, and you haven't caught him at all, then maybe that may be one option for you. You know, the other thing with your money, I don't know about your car, because I don't think you can bring it. I don't know how close you can bring it to where you're going to be living at, but with your money, you know, you can probably tell a friend, hey, can I put my, you know, accounts and bills, or just at least my bank account, can you save my money for me? You know what I mean? And that would be an option too.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, but who would trust somebody with their money?
Bro,
Like, it's just
stealing your money and your stuff. It's like, it's worth a shot, you know, like to.
I mean, they're not stealing money out of my bank. They're just fucking conveniently ruining my car for hundreds of dollars every time I save money. Like legitimately clockwork for the last like literally 5-10 years. Every time I get a tax return, anytime money goes into my bank, they literally let's not say every time, because some of those times are bad luck. But at least in the last 2 years, like provably, like I spent like $10,000-$15,000 in car repairs in 2 years, bro. Like they're trying to bankrupt me.
So at this point, I would just Uber it, bro. You know what I mean? At least for now. Yeah.
Because the car is giving you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find a different spot to park it that's more safe, or put a car cover over it to make it harder for people to do something to your car. I mean, I don't.
Well, the thing with targeted individuals, like, and I understand when normal people that don't go through this, like, don't understand. No matter what you do, I don't know how they do it. They're like ninjas. Like, you can talk to multiple TIs. They find a way around. These people work for the military. Like, these are Marines and shit that are doing like car vandalism. These aren't regular criminals, and they're making sure you're asleep. They're making sure your car, like, they'll park a whole bunch of cars in front of my house, so I have to park it down the street, and then, like, not down the street, but farther from my apartment. And then the next day my car will start creaking and cranking. Like, they plan and strategize every single thing out. Like, they'll attack you. They're like vipers. They'll attack you right when the time's right. They'll wait. Like, they're not in a hurry to fuck up your life. This isn't people that are angry. Like, this is stuff that's well calculated.
Well, yeah, but if you know that's going to keep happening, and it's you know, $15,000, you could that's a lot of money, man. You know.
I mean, it's probably around like 10,000. I could really pull it up. It's probably
Even then,
over 10,000.
even then, you have to explore other options.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they won't
you're
let
not
me.
really.
It's a prison system. This is a modern day way of putting me in a prison
It. Yes,
without putting me in a prison. That's all it is. I just have to live my life. That's all
You
I
still
can
need
do.
to sit down and figure something out, a way to change this. Because how long do you plan on living there? How many more years, or do you plan on moving out of the area?
I mean, I plan on living here, but I mean, I'll move if the targeting gets bad enough. Like, make it harder on them.
The price that you're paying now, can you actually move to an actual like residential home instead of an apartment with a driveway and a garage or something like that?
Nah, I can't afford that.
What about a place with roommates?
I mean, I've done the roommate thing. I'd rather live by myself than with roommates. I don't want to falsely accuse. I don't want them to get interfered with.
Well,
we'd
all rather live by ourselves, but at this point, if you're spending thousands of dollars and you know it's going to keep happening, that may be an option. You know?
Yeah, because something's got to give. Okay, something's got to give, and to change the situation for you.
Yeah,
and I don't know how you park your car. You got to figure out the parking situation so you can have a peace of mind. You know, like no one's gonna mess with your car, knowing you can.
I pretty much have to park in front of my window everywhere I live. Like, that's a guaranteed. Like, that's the type of life I live. It doesn't matter how nice or shitty my car is. I have to park it right in eyes view to keep from people from messing with it. Really.
So, when's the last time someone messed with it? When was the last time?
Like a week ago. I just spent like $600.
And the time before that?
It didn't happen for a long time, but they destroyed it. I bought a car for $5,000 and they destroyed it within a month. They keyed it, and it was from a charity that fixes cars up to sell them affordably to people like that are in need. So they literally made sure that car was in perfect running condition. And within a week, they destroyed the alternator and all types of shit. And then after that, they blew up the radiator. So that lasted a month. Like, they did that on purpose.
So they're
joyriding $5,000 and they destroyed it in a month. Like, it was.
So they break into the car and drive it?
No, they pop the hood. They do stuff to your radiator. They probably pour some type of chemical in it to destroy your radiator, make it overheat. You can look it up online. Like, it's all stuff you can look up online.
They bypass the alarm and everything?
I mean, shoot, I don't know.
I mean, you said you had a rental too, right? I'm sure the rental was newish. And those have alarms.
Yeah, I heard the alarm go off 30 times. I was like sleeping. I was downstairs in front of my parents. I heard an alarm go off like 30 times. I didn't get up and look. And then the next day there was cigarette holes and cuts all over it.
Okay, if they open your hood at night, you can buy one of those. It's for the windows, okay? Where it's like if one of them is a sensor, the other one is the alarm. If they actually are separated, then the alarm goes off. You know, those window like protection, the alarm. You should get one of those and put it connected to your hood. So if anyone opens your hood, it'll go off the alarm. Like, that's at least one thing you can do.
Yeah, well, the problem is no gang stalker has ever been caught on film vandalizing or well, I won't say vandalizing, like breaking in. Like, these people are professionals for the most part. Like, I mean, that's what is rumored. I don't know for sure, but it seems like these people are like military professionals. Like they know what they're doing. They're trained.
It seems like they're professional, but that is I'm glad you brought this up because no one can capture anyone in footage. It's because these are spirits. Like you have to dedicate 20 hours, solid 20 hours, like you're in a semester of a college course, dedicate 20 hours looking specifically into what are the ability of spirits, what can spirits do to people. Look up specific topics like that and get an idea of what I'm talking about. And it'll be hard for you to understand unless you see it visually. I have seen spirits on my property, so I've seen it with my own eyes. That's why I behave like this. That's why I talk like this, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Until you actually seen it with your own eyes, it's hard for a person to believe.
No, I believe you. I've seen paranormal things myself, but it just had nothing to do with my personal targeting. It just seems like it's all humans and it's all like military precision and like professionals and shit. That's just my opinion. I've seen UFOs. I've seen a fucking demon floating face when I was half asleep. Like I've seen spiritual things, but it just never had anything to do with my physical gang stalking.
Okay, let me ask you this. So you've seen them, okay? Like me, I've seen spirits on my property. I'm gonna ask you a question. Where are they now? Think about it. You've seen them. They're in and out. They're gone. So where are they now?
I mean, I didn't see a spirit. I was half asleep and I saw like a demon floating face. But if they were here, they'd be invisible. Like I mean, if you're talking about spirits,
they could be next to you right now, right?
I mean, you can't prove it, but yeah, theoretically, from lore and story, yeah, they're always around.
I know it's hard to prove, but that's why by chance I was able to kind of make these little connections, and because I've seen it, okay, more than 5 times on my property. The white ghost. It's a ghost with half a body is white, and it could float. It was floating up on the ceiling, the corner of the ceiling. The first time I saw it was on CCTV outside my bedroom window, looking through my window. So I've seen it with my own eyes, and they're in the physical. So if I don't talk about them, I don't think about them, they're literally, I don't know where they are. They could be just next to me. I wouldn't even know. And that's what's going on with a lot of TIs. If you haven't seen it, it's hard for your mind to make the connection that these things are real and they exist. And that's why I say research 20 hours. Just do your research for 20 solid hours and read other people and going back in time too, not just
Seventh. You can't completely dismiss the fact that it may also be a human factor here.
Well, here we go. If you say human factor, I would say the only human factors there are the spirits manipulating that human.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I can say about it. But yeah, okay. I mean, that's what I can say. And then I also mentioned everyone's a TI because there's more spirits than actually living people.
Or some of us, we could just be a big experiment and everybody's in on it, like the Truman Show shit. You know, and everybody just pretends. That's a possibility too.
Yeah, like everyone's a TI. Yeah, we're all in on it. Everyone's a TI.
I mean, I don't see why can't it be both.
Other people get harassed too and stuff, like fucked with.
No, but they don't think of it as gang stalking.
Oh, right.
Because they're not like serious enough. Where like you and I and us, you know, the TI in the community, we actually have this awareness of knowing something else is going on. So we're like the outcasts compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
we're actually being seen. You know what I'm saying? But we know we're normal people in the community. We actually just know something else is going on. But anyone outside the community, they would think of us as mentally ill.
Yeah, but they want to talk about Cardi B and Drake.
But right now, I'll tell you something. Right now, the TI community, we have the potential to break through. We can change.
Cardi B.
We can bring out the truth about these mental problems from these textbook doctors that they themselves have no direct experience. So it's like now it's all about financial. It's about medication, pharmaceutical. If you actually look it up, there's some psychiatrists who actually talk about how the system itself is too textbook now instead of being case by case with the patient. It should be case by case with the patient, but now they just kind of go textbook. They ask question: is this happening to you? Is this happening to you? Is this happening to you? And they do a check mark, and then be like, oh,
They're
schizophrenia.
definitely experimenting with the physical patents though. Don't you think?
I don't doubt the patent being tested, but the patent, here's what I have to say. The patent is nowhere as efficient as what we call gang stalking. Gang stalking is efficient. It's like
so maybe then it's merged with the spiritual then.
And spiritual, think about it. This game, the spiritual game, you have to put yourself in the, if let's say a ghost, a spirit, what is their ability? So they have to work with their own ability, right? And their ability kind of sets their limitations. Okay.
They need energy.
Yes.
They need
but they've been playing this game for a long time, longer than any single government in existence.
Yeah.
So let's just say an empire like the royalty in Britain, okay? The Queen just died. How about British Empire? Let's go back. Let's give them 3,000 years. Well, the spirit's been playing this game longer than 3,000 years. You know, it's like they actually understand human minds. They understand what takes us. They know how to manipulate our minds. And it's the fact that we don't acknowledge them, their existence.
Oh yeah, but there's a human. There's humans too doing this to people too. Southern.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these spirits can really manipulate people to a point of puppet like.
No, not just manipulate. They're part of a department somewhere out there. You know, that's why do we have so many endless departments? You know?
Well, I can't say I don't know why they have so many departments, but
I mean, why do we need endless departments? Because they're watching us.
Hey guys, I gotta go to work, man. But I appreciate you guys talking with me. But I'll catch you guys later. Gotta go to work tomorrow morning, so gotta hit the set. All right, peace out, man.
Conspiracy. So, do you still think I'm a fake TI?
Well, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, like I don't know if you're fake or real. I'm not gonna say you're real, but it does seem like you're concerned about people's mental health online. This is all I'll say.
Well, I do want people to have a positive mentality. So would that be a concern for people's mental health?
No, I'm just saying it seems like one of the reasons you're coming online is that you think TIs are mentally ill. Like people that claim to be targeted, which I don't think real TIs are mentally ill. I think there are some mentally ill people on YouTube, like a small percentage. But
see, that's you listening to Lower Voices Skull, because just 5 minutes ago I said the TI community, we know we're not mentally ill.
But how is that voice to skull though? Because that's just my opinion. That no one told me to say that. No, there's nothing influence. Like how you're doing that is, it can be dangerous for a targeted individual if you're telling people that this stuff is voices when it's not. That's not a voice telling me to say that. I didn't hear anything.
You feel like he's screening people, right?
Who, me?
In a way, yeah.
I don't know. It seems like
that's what I feel. Some of these guys.
I feel like you know about spirits and you're writing a book or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they're checking up on us. It's like a personal checkup. Like
it's
like a camp counselor. It's like a counselor type of vibe. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a bad
thing. You're missing
the
point. You're missing the information. Just 5 minutes ago, I out of my mouth I said the TI community, we know we are not mentally ill. And I always talk about, don't call us schizo. V2K is real. I'm going through it. So I actually am saying I receive V2K. So I'm not calling other TI mentally ill. If that's doing that, then that means I'm calling myself mentally ill. You see? Like, that's the part where you tend to lose that focus of that point I'm making. And that's because it's on purpose. They don't want you to pay attention.
But I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you that there is a voice in people's head that tricks people to do bad shit. And I don't know what that is, but that is a real phenomenon. I agree totally. Like there is in gang stalking, there is a
It's
voice
not
that tricks
necessarily
you.
a phenomena either. It can be a phenomena if that spurs from nothing, but it's also very
It's your
intentional.
subconscious.
It's intentional. It's intentional also, and it's directed to people. I don't know why
You
you
ever
guys keep forgetting that there's hundreds of patents out there that they're using this on people.
No, I know V2K is real. I know they can
Yeah.
beam. I'm just saying it doesn't happen to every TI, but it is
No.
it is part of something. Yeah, it is like a technology type of thing. But there's also a voice in your head that tells you to do bad shit.
Yeah.
That's not it's your subconscious. Just like in the cartoons, you see the devil on one shoulder and you see the
Yeah.
angel on the other shoulder. That's
Yeah.
been going on since I was a little kid. That's what Seven
Exactly.
Hunama. Yeah, that's not gang stalking though. That's not people fucking messing with you and using
That
technology.
that is the devil, that little devil's voice making you think negatively, because the angel would let you think positively and tell you to do positive decisions, make
Yeah.
positive decisions, and the little demon devil would make you think negative and decide on
Yeah.
negative decisions.
People been talking about that since like ancient Hindu religion and ancient Chinese religion. Every
Exactly.
civilization has that.
And
But
that's
that
what
has
I've been
nothing to do
saying.
with the gang stalking program though.
And
That's like
that's
a
what I've
little
been
slice of it.
saying.
It's a little piece.
You can date back to the Bible. That's what I'm saying. This has been around for a long time. It's just you need to do the research into spirituality for 20 hours and you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Just like you said, date back to like early Buddhist time, Hindu time. Yes, it's been around for this long.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's merging of it now with
And they're getting
the
better.
spiritual.
They're actually really good at it too, because they've been doing this for a long time. We are just here for like, let's say 80 to 100 years. A spirit can be here for thousands of years. Seriously, I know it sounds crazy, but that is what it is.
Yeah,
There's a
I
hierarchy
mean,
amongst them.
if you look at the elites, they all worship demons. They all worship Azazel, and they give them powers to get money. That's on record. So yeah, you're right. But that has nothing to do with the government or the police program or the secret experimentation program known as gang stalking. Those are
But there is
they're
no
both
real
correct.
evidence for the government or the police. They never once openly said it. And I know
I
you're gonna
have a
say, "Oh, you're
video
not
where
gonna
the
say
police
anything."
say it. I have a
But
video where the police says gang stalking. He says that this guy's a victim of gang stalking. It's my last
They're not going
video.
to call it what we call it, because what we call
No,
it
I
is
have a
street
video of a
slang.
cop saying
Yeah,
it, bro.
yeah, but no, I'm not saying he didn't say that, but I'm saying if you ask the official, whatever, it's probably named something else, you know, like
It's a yeah. I don't know what it
yeah,
is.
do you think it's like a one world thing? Because
Yeah, it's
whoever
a
have
one
this
world thing.
technology, okay, V2K, directed energy weapon, whoever owns it can control the world. They can take out any opposition in
Well,
politics.
not just one person owns it.
Exactly. So is it like if you're gonna say government, are you talking about like just one secret government? Is that what you're gonna try to say?
I have no
Do you
idea,
guys
but
think the
my guess would
governments
be the
are actually
military.
against each
That's
other?
my guess.
Do you think Putin and the president of Ukraine actually are going against each other? No, these guys go to the UN and plan these things.
Well, Ukraine is just taking a beating because now they're gonna give up their land to Russia, and then they're also gonna borrow money from the West, so they're gonna be in debt.
Well, we already gave them like $1 billion or $2 billion
Exactly.
or something. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I saw a photo. Okay, I saw a photo. You know the top 5 country, the Permanent Security Council of the world, like France, Britain,
Yeah.
America, Russia, China. I saw a photo. Okay, from the 80s. Okay, it was on eBay. Just the president from all these 5 countries sitting together at some type of banquet.
Yeah.
So basically, that 5 people, okay, sitting around the table, they are so powerful.
Yep.
They can
They
easily
send our kids to war, and while they pretend to care.
They can easily just plan out how to go about, for society, and
Yeah.
they can play the good cop, bad cop, which is something they're doing. Good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
Like Ukraine wants the U.S. to help, but the U.S. is like, oh, talking how it's bad Russia's doing that, but we won't directly go to war for you. We'll lend you money. We'll sell you weapons.
Right.
While the Russians gonna just take their land, and now we're like, okay, we're gonna call ceasefire, but we're gonna keep whatever we take.
Yeah, but do you really think the president of Ukraine isn't in cahoots with Putin?
Guys, I gotta go to work
brother.
tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Peace out.
All right, man. Later. Yeah,
What
bro.
did you say?
It's a really
we're living in the world of lies, bro. That's all it is, you know.
Okay, let me ask you one zero. Where do you believe in good and evil?
I do. I most definitely do.
So if you go back in time, where do you think that come from?
Good. Okay, so good and evil, to me, it has a variation too, and it has like sort of amendments, if you will, um, that comes from our Creator. You know, like not to slap somebody in the face for no reason. That's bad, or to take somebody's stuff. You know, that's bad. If good, right? Good is helping somebody, being thoughtful, being kind.
So okay, that's true. So this creator, do you think is that one source, like that one source of knowledge, is that eventually comes into the one source, right? So good and evil, and then you draw a line to the top, it'll just be one source that directs it, right?
Yeah, yeah. He created all of this, and he
So
knew.
our creator actually understands evil and also understands good.
Yeah.
And keep the balance. So our creator can also, well, some people see our creator as good, while some people see our creator as bad.
Yeah.
So the creator itself actually can do bad as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So does that mean God, what we know as God, can God actually do bad things? Can God also be the ones doing all the bad things on earth?
That's a possibility. I don't know if he is, you know.
Yeah, we can't tell. But philosophically speaking, God can be playing both sides.
Yeah. So what I think it happened is he just drew out a movie, and we're just playing it for
And
his
it's just for
entertainment.
entertainment.
Yeah, we're just entertainment, man. That's it. And we have what we think is, you know, options of decisions. We can either do this, that, or whatever. You know what I mean? But how do we know he didn't know that before that? You know what I mean? Like before we made that decision.
And that's why I have to go back to like the all-seeing eye. So the all-seeing eye is something that can see everything, right? Like someone's call it God. So the all-seeing eye can see everything. So it saw all the planning, all the premeditation of all the evil ever done on earth. So it actually saw the planning of it, and then watching it happening and go through with it. So in a way, like even though it didn't do anything or intervene, is that an act of evil in a way? Just even knowing evil is about to happen and didn't do anything?
So in a situation where there's victims that cannot defend themselves, or you know, you get caught blindsided, like you get kidnapped out of nowhere and then tortured or whatever. Yeah, he knew that. You know, it's hard for me to say that. You know, it's hard for me to say that.
So it just kind of leads me to think that we're not
So this life doesn't really matter too much. Seventh, what matters is mostly your heart and how you die, in the state you die in. You know what I mean?
I believe that. I believe that.
Because when you go back to source and you go back into the spirituals, the sublime spiritual, you don't feel no pain anymore, and he has the power, I believe, to make it up to you, to whatever you traumas and bad things you had to undertake here on earth, and it just kind of gets cleared out from your mind, or maybe you may remember it, but it doesn't bother you at all, and you understand why it happened. I don't know. That's a good question. That's why some people don't believe in God, or they like, you know, screw God or whatever, because they feel like that. Yeah, he does allow all this to happen, bad to happen.
I mean, I understand it needs to have evil for people to realize what's good. I understand that part. It's just,
but it's like, why create evil, right? It's like some people say, like, also with, you know, with his son, it's like, if you knew that was going to happen, why would you let it happen and then see your son suffer in that way?
Speaking of this, okay, let's talk about a little bit about science here. Okay, you know how I have this photo of the moon in the backdrop, right here. I don't know if I can make it bigger, but you see that moon?
Yeah.
Okay. So the moon, you know, the concept of how it just stays in one place, and how is in this perfect gravity. Okay, how the moon and the Earth are just perfect gravity. That concept to me, when you think about modern day science, do not make sense.
Why?
Because okay, all these different asteroid that flies by,
Mhm.
okay, how they're talking about space is expanding, how okay, just the idea that there's more people on Earth,
Mhm.
right? As there's more people on Earth, wouldn't that make Earth heavier in itself? I mean, and somehow that is also being kept in place by the sun because we're rotating around the sun, and the moon is
It's not
also.
it's not a significant weight though.
It,
Are you talking about body mass, like human body mass?
well, it's just in general, like I feel like there's
If we
the
make a
weight
building,
changes,
the materials came from the earth. So
but what about giving birth? Giving birth, wouldn't that generate more people?
yeah, it's generating more people from basically nothing, right? From like the seeds, but
Okay,
it's
but
not
okay,
significant
you're right.
amount of
You're
weight.
right. Okay, let's
Yeah.
not go there. So let's just
Mhm.
talk about how can the moon just stay in place?
I'm not God, bro. That's the big difference between us and him.
And
He
that
can do
makes
that.
me feel like there's more to it. You can
Oh
call it
yeah,
alien or something. I mean, gotta be a
yeah.
more advanced civilization that's doing something or something more advanced doing
You
this.
know what's weird? We haven't gone back to the moon, and this last Archimedes or whatever
Yeah.
rocket, it got delayed and it got scrubbed. The mission got scrubbed, and they're not going up there. And you know, I have seen videos and footage, and I don't think you can find them anymore of like actual alien bases. And I'm not saying they were bases, and I'm not saying that you know they're real images or they're confirmed or anything, but you can see streets and you know landing runways and
Straight lines,
buildings.
straight
Yeah,
lines, like
buildings. Yep.
XY coordinate in straight
Yeah.
lines.
So what NASA does whenever they find something like that, especially like the moon, it's like just one color, that gray color. They just gray over it. They just
Yes,
kind of
you're
spray
right.
paint
I was just
it.
thinking the
Yeah, they
same thing.
spray paint it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they spray
like
paint it.
Google Moon. Google Moon, like you can tell they actually photoshopped it. They dabbed something to blur a certain spot. You can tell this like
Hmm. You know,
really
there's
nice.
actually in the report for when we did go to the moon, they actually stated in the official report that they saw things up there, and you can see it, you can hear it on in the video. Actually,
I've
there's
seen a
video
video.
footage of it.
I've seen a video on YouTube years ago, 10 years ago, over 10
Yeah.
years ago. It was one of those moon landing. It was a choppy video, but it shows
Mhm.
the astronaut balancing their way towards these structures.
Right.
Okay, I tried looking for that video recently, and I can't find it.
Right.
It must have been
So
like buried under
seventh,
all the.
it's like if you're all powerful. Say you're a computer programmer and you know everything, how to program a computer, how to create CGI, and how to create anything from scratch, right? With a computer. Um, why not make variations of worlds and variations of realities and variations of beings and theologies and beliefs and maybe the gray, because the grays, the way they're described, right, they're completely different from us. These things are like kind of more like computers. They feed off of knowledge, right? Because that's why they travel the universe. So if you're God, I honestly, bro, and I feel kind of bad because I have some kind of reverence towards God, you know, in a sense where it's like you know, I don't want to assume too much, but if you're all powerful and you have that power, why not just do it? I don't have to explain everything to my kid, you know, or my dog or my mom, you know, I just kind of do stuff sometimes. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why
And
not?
I feel
And
like
why would
okay,
he tell us about the aliens? Because it's just going to confuse us and it's going to make us anxious to meet him and just raise too many questions, you know?
well, I think naturally, if the human consciousness
Uh-huh.
or elevate to a certain point, we're gonna naturally be getting closer and
Yeah.
closer
And who do you
to
think you,
finding it.
who
But
do you
until
think he
then,
put that curiosity in there? He did.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
here's the
put that
thing:
little tiny bit of like,
I,
maybe, you know?
I was watching like something like Planet Earth, and
Mhm.
I was watching these animals, these mammals, and how they have their paws. But even paws, it looks like they have, I mean, 5 fingernails. Okay, like cats. Okay, a
Mhm.
lot of animals have like 5 fingers. Okay, this is called fingers. Okay, just like us. And I started having this thought of, well, not my thought for sure, because I heard it come in, and it kind of tells me, is it possible that all these animals were experiments, and then eventually they finally found a good one, which is humans, from all the experiments? Because I mean, they try to say, oh, natural selection or evolution. You know, we come from like how like they show the chart how all these progress.
Yeah, but you can test the carbon base on the cells, and we're all basically made out of the same stuff, you know, unless you're like a microbe or something, or like something like that, like a virus. Otherwise, we're all kind of just made of the same things, just atoms.
Okay, like the negative blood type. Okay, the negative blood type people.
Yeah.
I mean, it says even an ancient alien.
Now that's interesting right there.
The
How come we're
documentary
all
show?
human, right? But we have different blood.
Yes,
blood
the
types.
negative blood type based on ancient alien, it just showed up like 20, 30,000 years ago, supposedly. That they can find.
Is that the universal blood, or is that the one that's specific for like blue-eyed Caucasians?
Well, most of them are like some type of Europeans, you know, but I mean, it's all over the world. But the negative blood type, it's the smaller percentage of population. But the negative blood can go into the positive blood, but the positive blood can't go into the negative blood. The negative blood type can use their blood for the positive blood type.
So you can, in essence, either corrupt somebody else's, genome code, or you can, intentionally mess with it or upgrade it or whatever, only with that blood type.
But that's the mystery. They don't know where it come from because it just showed up. From what they can find, you know, it's just showed up 20, 30,000 years ago.
I have seen that too.
So to me, it's like, what does that mean? You know, what happened to before 30,000 years? Like, was there nothing? Maybe they just haven't found it, huh? They haven't dug up any fossils or.
Yeah, and they didn't mix with anything else, right? It was just like, just kind of appeared, like they were already that being in that color, and with those traits.
Yeah, I mean, there is a theory. I mean, I paraphrasing here. I heard from a video that I watched. I don't know the title of the video, but it's possible that the negative blood type actually could have been here before the positive blood type. So that's only a theory, and I can't. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the movie Stargate, if you've seen it, now we're creating Stargates. You don't think DARPA and private scientific entities and departments out here, you don't think they're experimenting on absolutely everything? Time travel, portals, everything, communications with other beings, this and that. So anyway, that movie, remember how it's called Stargate, because they had a gate in Mars, and they had been working on the Stargate that they found on Earth, and they finally got it to work. And when they went through it, they went all the way to Mars, and Mars is where they were experimenting on people. And some people think that that's where that bloodline came from, the one you're mentioning.
I mean, I can't say that's not true, and I can't say that's true. So it's one of those topics that is interesting, definitely interesting.
But you got to remember
any of it. Yeah, and like back to DARPA and stuff like that. I mean, I heard those things many times, and I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible, but I can't prove it. Yeah, I can only go off of what I experienced, and I experience is living here. I have seen the ghost many times, so that's my experience, direct experience, and that's what.
So that's an entity. That's a being that's either being made to seem real, right, with some kind of technology, or it's living in some kind of different frequency out here.
It's just our eyes can't pick it up. I mean, usually when I see videos of spiritual stuff or catching ghosts, it's always on someone's night vision cameras or CCTVs. Right. Our eyes just can't pick it up.
But you got to remember, we have the
show themselves.
The Nephilim and the Anunnaki too.
Hey, but here's the thing though. It also have the ability to show itself if it wants to, because I have seen it with my own eyes. That's one thing I have to make a point of. I've seen
Yeah.
it with
How
my
come they
own
don't
eyes.
show themselves more though? You know?
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
The
You see,
only thing,
those are the big questions. Like, how come aliens are like, hey, fuckers, and we know you've been waiting, you know, but yeah, we're real and we got to go. Okay, cool.
and
Why not just do that?
the only thing I receive through voices call is that it's energy. It caused a lot of energy for him to show himself. That's the only thing I can say. But can I prove it? I can't.
Yeah, but like you said, they're interdimensional. But it's like these things they can show themselves too if they want to.
Yes, they can. Absolutely can.
It's insane the world we live in, you know, and it's more crazy to me. The craziest part of all existence, seventh and humanity, and stuff like that is that nobody talks about things like this. If you sit somebody with somebody and you've known this guy, this person for 5 years, 6 years, and you think you can spark a conversation like that, they'll go ahead and swerve, you know. They'll start talking about like, oh, I'm hungry, or you know, I saw a show last night or something like that. Nobody wants to talk about real shit and things that really matter out here.
Yeah.
You know, people go to church, but they and church, you know, Christianity. I know it's Christianity. They say walk in the spirit. You know, our battle is not with flesh and blood. You know, it's a spiritual battle. But nobody likes to talk about spiritual stuff like
That's.
spirits.
I'm glad you
Demons.
brought that up. I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up. And that is another reason. I I,
Mhm.
I don't read the Bible, but ever since all this happening, I'm
Yeah.
starting to look more into and read,
Mhm.
different stories in the Bible.
Yeah.
And there's so much similarity. Like you said, battle, not with the flesh and blood, but it's something, it's a spiritual
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of what I'm trying to explain. It's a spirit, it's a spiritual thing. It's like we don't
Yeah,
know they're
so
there.
it does originate from the spiritual realm. Um uh but you know, I was watching this doctor too. She was explaining how, you know, how Earth has points that are aligned with star systems, and on Earth we have like energy, right? Like actual electrical current. Um so that's how they gridded the earth as antennas, like with the pyramids, you know, to communicate with each other. So those demons were communicating with each other towards those structures. And she explains thoroughly how, and you know, she turns every stone. She's a scientist or whatever. um it's really interesting. I'll shoot you the video later. um but yeah, I mean, there is a highway for demons. You know, the Bible also says that the second heaven is where these things reside.
The second heaven is where the demons reside.
Yeah, in space, basically. Space is their thing. Yep.
Yeah, I believe it. So demons in a way it's just like a bad angel, right? Could you see that? See it like that?
So somebody explained it to me that, okay, so the the Anunnaki came from like the fallen angels, um, and the fallen angels actually had sex with women. I don't know how, if they were spiritual, but like we were talking, maybe they can manifest into the material,
Like
because the Bible
succubus.
also,
Like
the Bible.
succubus.
Hmm. Uh-huh.
You ever heard succubus? Kind of like what's the other one? It's
It's
like
Anunnaki, and it's I just said it like 2 minutes ago.
uh
Um,
just having you said having sex with the humans.
yeah, so the Bible said they took women onto them, right? And they bore children with these Nephilim. They're the Nephilim. And then the women gave birth to the Anunnakis, which were giants. They turned up to be giants, you know. And there is, I guess, some kind of evidence. I have never seen it myself, but um, you know, there is giant bones out here and shit like that. But
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I actually
yeah.
an antique dealer told me that she's passed away now, but
Mhm.
she told me when she was in her 20s, she went to Egypt and they would
Mhm.
have coffins that were 20 feet long. And she said she's seen giants, but it's not there no more. I mean, I think now they try to hide this idea, but I'm just paraphrasing. And I've seen videos where they talk about giants, usually around 8 feet, 9 feet. You know, nothing more. I was thinking like, oh wow, 30 feet people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 1-0's gone. But so yeah, there are stories of giants. I haven't seen one myself. Never seen a fossil or skeleton, but I can't say they don't exist or if they existed. So thank you guys for joining me. And for those of you still watching this, I hope you don't think of me as a fake TI, because the whole purpose of me making my videos is to help TIs and help change their mindset, make them think more positive thoughts and ideas, and have a better life. So I hope you don't think of me as a fake. And if you do, I hope I can change your mind one day. And I hope Conspiracy Underground will think of me as someone that's genuine and really is here to help the TI community. If he still disagree, that's fine. Maybe one day he will change his mind. So thank you all for joining me. It's been a long stream, and take care of yourself. No fear. Have a good night, everybody. Shimo signing out.